Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week I checked out 2025 Armageddon, and this 2022 movie was directed by Michael Sue and stars Michael Paré, Jay Castles, and Lindsay Marie Wilson, among others, of course. The story of this movie is that there's this alien that's come to Earth, and they have watched all of the Asylum film production company's movies, and I guess they like them so much that they're sending the monsters from those movies to Earth to kind of destroy stuff with the hopes of taking over. And it's up to our heroes to try to stop them, of course. What will happen though? Well, for that, you gotta watch the movie and find out. Alright, so let's discuss this film. Well, first thing I gotta say is it is made by the Asylum. I think it was for their 25th anniversary, so congratulations Asylum on 25 years. You know, I remember watching them in like high school, and it kind of got me and my friends really into, B movies and whatnot. In fact, the highlight of my, little YouTube hobby going on here is when they actually quoted me on one of their DVD covers. I'll see if I can get that.
A few moments later.
Alright, so it's right here. So I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. It's Geek Legion of Doom, and that was actually me. So I was like over the moon when I saw that they wanted my quote for their movie cover. I couldn't believe it. And so as a fan, I gotta say this one was quite a bit of fun. There are problems. We'll discuss the problems in a moment. But for a fan of Asylum, certainly does have a fun quality where you're trying to get all the references. You're trying to remember all the movie titles. Oh, there's, Mega Boa. Oh, there's Mega Piranha. Oh, is it Crocosaurus? Right? Half the time I don't even know. And then what's the difference between, was it Transmorphers and Atlantic Rim? And you're just like, all of it's just thrown in there, and you're just so happy to see it all together that you can't help but smile half the time. And so for fans, this is a movie for you. It certainly comes at you with what you want, all of those references. It's not like self-detrimental. It is self-referential though. And they like refer to themselves all the time. They even have like a little Asylum movie channel on this one. And it looks like just like Tubi. I guess that layout is like anything, right? Netflix, whatever. And so that was fun to see there. And they even ask questions like, who's watching these movies? And like at that time I was like, I'm watching these movies. Like I'm a big fan. And things like that just have these, I don't know, quirky little qualities for a fan to really enjoy with this one. Another thing that keeps this movie fun is the pacing. Because they're just trying to throw in all of their movie monsters, they are doing like a new one every kind of 10, 15 minutes or so. So there's always something to look forward to. And they actually show it. Unlike other, Asylum films where they save all the CGI for like the last 10 minutes or so, this one has it evenly dispersed. And so every, 10, 15 minutes, you'll see a new monster, which is, I don't know, just a lot of fun. The pacing definitely keeps you engaged and keeps you going along with it. It certainly doesn't feel like the hour and a half. Maybe it feels more like an hour and 10 minutes. There are some slow parts. We'll talk about them. But for the most part, the pacing is fast enough to keep you engaged. So that is pretty good as well. And what else can I say about this film? I don't know. I just thought it was a great film for the fans. It feels like it's kind of made more for the fans than anything else. Because, the Asylum, they're known as doing like the mockbusters, just kind of like a cash grab here and there. This one doesn't feel like a cash grab, but is there a word for when it's like a payout? Like this is a 25-year payoff or something like that, where they're just, kind of celebrating themselves and getting a little cash on the side. It is self-referential. I think it's kind of masturbatory, where they're just kind of like having fun with themselves, really, when it comes down to it. And as a fan, I love that type of stuff. I'm not a serious movie watcher in these movies, so I don't know, just watching it and going along with it certainly is fun for the fans. And that brings me to what doesn't work with this film. Well, it has all the hallmarks of an Asylum film. It certainly is kind of like an average Asylum film that way. What I mean by this is there is a lot of people talking in rooms. Everything's in a room. They never really go outside, or I guess they go outside towards the end, but not much is done outside. It's all just in a room, whether it's a meeting or the lunchroom or wherever it is. They're on a phone call in a room. You know how the Asylum films are. So for fans, that's nothing new. This is what we've come to expect. And I don't know, they just keep going on with what you come to expect. And like, this is their 25th anniversary. Like, why would you expect them to change now, right? It's worked for 25 years after all. And so, yeah, that's something that is certainly in there. Other than that, the story itself is a big hot mess. After all, it's them just trying to figure out any reason to put all of these monsters in the same movie. And they could have done anything, right? They could have done, oh, it's a wizard that wants to do an interdimensional game or something like Mortal Kombat or whatever. But they've decided to go with aliens, and that's perfectly fine. And they just kind of throw it all together. And any excuse to have all of these things together. And even then, like with all the characters and their relationships with each other's, that's also a big mess too. They've just made everyone related to each other or married to someone who knows someone else, just so that they can get all of these people together. Like they had the military, NASA, the FCC, and then some like streaming service all together in the same room, just because like they're either married to each other or they're related to each other. And because of things like that, you certainly can't think about it too much. You just go along with it, having to see these people together for whatever reason they come up with, right? And so that is certainly something that they have in this one. I would say it kind of comes across as, a haphazard story, but at the same time, like, how else are you going to do it, right? Other than have some other wacky, insane thing, right? So it works for what it is. It's just a big mess. And then the last thing to say, again, stereotypical of Asylum films is stiff acting, and they certainly have quite a few stiff actors in this one where they could certainly be more expressive, but they're not. I don't want to name any names or anything like that. It's still what you come to expect from Asylum, so once again, it's all in there for you. Other than that, with this one, they don't have all of their monster movie references, and how could they, really? They've done so many out there that I wouldn't even imagine they'd be able to, include half of them. So if you are looking for more of an obscure film like Death Racers or something like that with the Insane Clown Posse, I was really hoping that the Insane Clown Posse would show up in their car, but it's all just the mega monsters, mega crocodile, mega piranha, and then they even have all the other mega stuff too. So it's just, I don't know, fun to see all the references, fun to see all the monsters together. They have one scene there, it's all of the 6-headed sharks. So it's like 2-headed shark, 3-headed shark, 5-headed shark, and then 6-headed shark, and they're all fighting like a megalodon. And it's just, I don't know, lots of fun that way. So yeah, it's one of those movies that it's really kind of interesting to see. But of course, you have to know the Asylum, you have to know what they're all about in order to really get full enjoyment out of it. What else can I say about this movie? I don't know, it's everything you've come to expect from an Asylum movie. And, Asylum, if you're out there listening and you need some more ideas, I thought this one was fun, but I think Double Apocalypse would be a great movie. So, if you need me, call me. And yeah, I don't know, happy 25th anniversary Asylum. Here's to 25 more. As for my recommendation, well, if you're an Asylum fan, this is a must-watch for you. It combines everything you love about them into one movie. And so if that sounds like you, then press play on this one. I think you can find it on Tubi. As for a rating, well, I'll give it the okay score of 4, but I will also give it a shadow score this time on, the Asylum scale. I would say that this one is above average, so I would give it a 6 as a shadow score. But for general audiences, I'll just give it an okay score of 4. You do have to be aware of, what the Asylum is and who they are and what they do in order to get enjoyment out of this one. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.